Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bind, and today we have to talk about AI. So here's the deal, guys. When I think about video ideas, I have a small file where I write down all the possible topics, and of course, for sure, something like AI would be on the list, as you might imagine. So I was planning on talking about this at one point, right? That being said, recently there's been a lot of new drama around AI. People accusing artists of using AI, and then artists coming out suggesting that you should not, could use AI in whatever capacity, and so on and so forth. It's pretty interesting to me. Also because I'm not really following any creators like in a way that I would watch all their videos. I'm just a very picky consumer because I don't have that much time. So I will use an example to talk about this topic, the recent case of Ergojosh, who basically made a video about how he would use AI and how you could use AI and all that. And people did not take well to it, to say the least. So, today I already had my glasses on because I'm short-sighted when I saw this video response from Ergojosh. Right, to stay with this example because I think it's great, and I'll tell you why in a second. And so he responded to the community saying, well, I got called out, and then continues to explain himself. And I have to say, explanation is pretty sound. I can understand where he's coming from. However, this whole thing reminded me of some stuff I always read about AI. And it's mainly that people have a very hard time compartmentalizing what the problems are and how they should feel towards those problems, right? So people say that there's the issue of all these engines getting fed the work of other artists without their consent, basically, and what that leads to is generating pictures from the influence and from the basically library of other artists, and then it will spit out something that most people will count as plagiarism. And I think there is a very, very fair point to that. So then there's other people who say, yeah, but you can use AI, it's a great tool. Everybody, everything will have AI in no time. They will use it for automation. They will use it in healthcare. They will use it in all sorts of things. And in Ergojosh's video, he also elaborates on that. However, there's my problem with that. And that really has nothing to do with this creator. I'm just using him as an example, right? Because that's what I came across and basically caused me to make this video today and not in a few weeks from now. So here's the deal, guys. I'm really nobody, right? I recently continued making videos on YouTube, and then I got some response, and I'm very grateful for that. But the take that I'm giving to you is just from the heart, right? It's my personal take, and I don't have anything to gain from that. But I figure since many digital artists are Even if they're very famous, they're most likely younger than me because I'm a vampire. I'm like a 40-plus-year-old guy who has been in the space for, I think, 19 years. I've been doing digital art, so there's that. And also, it's not about that experience only, but it is about something much bigger than that. So the thing that I think most people don't understand, I shouldn't say probably understand, because they would understand that they just don't arrive at this conclusion somehow. And this is something that I don't normally hear about when people are talking about AI. And this is that it's really not about AI. The use of these engines that spit out the images. That is just a symptom for something greater, and that is about the agency of the artist, and about his credibility, and about, how could you say that? Integrity. That's what it comes down to. Picture this. Let's say we don't have AI. Let's say Ergojosh did never have AI, because AI is not a thing. We never developed AI. Now, let's say because he's a famous artist, which I figure from his sheer follower numbers he is, kinda is, so he has money. Picture this. Picture he assembles a team because he doesn't have that much time at hand. And then he just writes down some little notes, some little prompts, right? Gives it to his team and says, I don't have that much time, but do me something, right? You know what I'm doing. I'm doing portrait drawing, figure drawing, that kind of stuff. Do me something, I have a look at it later. And then, you get paid. I'm going to take some of that, and then I'm going to use that to make my art, right? So then, these people, paid artists, they develop some drawings, some paintings. They give it to him because they got paid for it, right? It's contracting work. It's the same as you pay for the subscription to the AI engine. Now, he gets the work back, and then he looks through it and says, this is okay. This is interesting. I like this face, right? Puts it aside. And this figure, I like the arm and the gesture. It's good, right? So he ends up using the artwork, create his own artwork. So in digital space, it's really no problem. Like, you have the files from the other artists, you assemble them in Photoshop, you draw over it, you combine stuff, and then voila, you have your own artwork. Is there something wrong with that? No, absolutely not. People pay for art to be done all the time. Right? So, but here's the catch. If he did that in secrecy, and people found out that he did that and then posted his art on Instagram, where there is other people's work, or let's be more general, work that is not done by him, but by something or somebody or some other entity, right? I think people would have a problem with that. I think people would have the same problem with that they have with using the AI engine, because it's really not about that it is a modern computing thing, that it is an engine. Maybe, it steals content, maybe that's not good, but apart from that, it's really about your integrity as an artist. If you take anything that is not done by yourself, doesn't matter where it comes from, right? Doesn't matter. What that means is now your art is not 100% done by you. What that means is that you're kind of living a lie here, or well, maybe not a lie, that would be too harsh to say, but you're presenting an artwork as your own, which is not, by definition of the entire process, your own fully. It has elements in it that are foreign. The same way we scrutinized photo bashing like 15 years ago, right? It's the same reason. There's stuff in there that is outsourced. It's not your stuff. And that is the important part, you will not arrive at the same conclusion as an artist if you use other agents, people's, entities, stuff for your work. So no matter how you twist or turn it, the artwork that you will arrive at is not the same as if you would have done it yourself. And therefore, people say, I don't know if I can trust this guy anymore. It's not about the use of AI. It is about the use of something that is not your own in your art. And that compromises your work. And give you a very, very easy example. Let's say I'm drawing a sketch in the office and there's other people. And I leave the sketch on the table and there comes another artist and picks up the pen and draws one line. Now you could say it doesn't matter, but I will insist that it does matter. Because if you go back at this and there is a line that you didn't do, now this is a little, let's say this is exaggeration, but it basically changes everything. Because now there is a foreign influence in there, and it does change how you look at that work, because the context of the lines has changed, and it's by something foreign that it's now influencing your canvas. And I think that is the big issue, because you can prompt one prompt a million times to a million different AI engines or to a million different people, and you will always get a different result. Always. There's infinite solutions for a prompt that is one word, and we all know that. Subconsciously we all know that. So what does that mean? That means two things. First, the foreign influence will never be what you would have come up. And second, and I think much more relieving, is that if you do the work yourself, no AI and no other human will ever get the same result that you got. And I think that alone is the entire reason to never outsource any of your artwork as an artist, because you should take some pride, is a big word, but some kind of you should not give away agency from your artwork. I feel that is a huge mistake. And people just talking about, how can you use it in a safe way, and how can you use it so that it doesn't compromise. You can't forget about that. It always compromises. It changes everything. You can be okay with that, and that is fine. And there's a million uses of AI that are just fine, and they will help us progress as a species. I'm pretty sure of that. But the sole question is, if you're an artist, do you want to do that stuff yourself, or do you want to outsource parts of it and have no control over them? And then later incorporate those random solutions into your own work and show them as your own. Every artist should just think about this. And then the question, how do you justify the use? It's really not. It doesn't really matter anymore. The only question is, do you want foreign stuff in your artwork or not? And with that, I'm gonna leave it at that. Tell me down below if you like to hear me rambling my opinion about stuff like this. I'm not as well spoken as other guys, obviously. I'm not well known by anybody, so really, if it entertains you, that's fine. And also, let me just say that I have planned another video where I want to analyze some AI artwork because I think it's fascinating, and I want to analyze it the same way that I analyze my students' work. I will analyze some AI artwork pretty soon, just as if it was done by a human, and we'll see how it holds up. So if you like to see that, stay tuned. Yeah, next few weeks, I would say. Anyways, guys, it's getting late. See you next time.